This is the Naturehike 65 liter backpack. Before I walk you through this one in detail, show you all the features, let's talk about 4 reasons why it can be so hard to find an affordable backpack that works. I'll even show you some examples, and then we'll talk about how the Naturehike stacks up. First, a lot of affordable packs can be heavy. For example, my Teton Sports Explorer. I like this pack, it's affordable, but it weighs over 5 pounds just by itself. If you're trying to lighten your load, a 5-pound backpack doesn't do much to help you. A second problem with affordable packs is that sometimes they are frameless. This is the 3F UL Gear 40 liter pack. I like this pack, it's light and it's super affordable, I think like 70 bucks, but it is frameless, which is okay for some situations. To be honest, most times I prefer a frame. The third problem you're going into with trying to find an affordable pack is sometimes it's just too small. This is my, I don't know how to say it, Onaji, not sure. It is super light. I think less than a pound actually. It's more of a fast pack, but it's also really small. I can only use it in the summer taking very minimal gear. Affordable, light, but very, very small. And then the fourth thing that you often run into when trying to find an affordable pack is that it's just not comfortable. They skimp on some of the features like a frame, padded hip belt, those sorts of things that just make a pack more comfortable. So now let's talk about how the Naturehike measures up. For $100, this Naturehike 65 liter surprised me with how much I like it. This backpack from Naturehike is a roll top 65 liter internal framed pack made of 420D nylon, which means that it's going to be durable and pretty water repellent. Let's talk about all the different storage features on this pack. First thing, let me unroll the top so you can see just how tall this is. It has these two buckles on the side, and actually when you get this pack, or at least when I got mine, this strap actually buckled across the back like this. And I thought that was kind of weird. Maybe it was sort of a compression strap. I was planning to just cut it off before I realized that this roll top pack, it actually buckles in down the side rather than a lot of packs I've seen, and actually my Z packs that I have, they have you buckle it up top like this. I honestly prefer it buckled down the side like this. I just think it's more secure, and then this area up here, it's easier to strap things down. Let me lay it down so you can see it. So it is a 65 liter pack. You can fit a ton of gear in here. I've easily fit a full winter loadout, several days of food, water, all of that in this pack. So that's the main compartment. Let's talk about a few of these compartments on the outside. It has a huge stretchy mesh storage pouch on the back, and I love this. This is often where I put things that I want to be able to grab quickly, whether that's my rain jacket, first aid kit, sometimes even my cook pot if I'm on a really long trip and there's not room for it in this roll top. You can fit a ton of gear out here, so that adds a lot of storage to what you're able to take, which is great because for me during the day, I really don't like having to get into the roll top. I want to be able to compress this down, buckle it up, and then not have to open this again until I get to camp that night. Everything else can go in here. It does have another pocket. It's sort of hard to see right here. It's not huge. What I'll usually put in this pocket has been my first aid kit. It does have two really big, stretchy water bottle pockets. You can see here I've got a 1 liter and then a 0.7 liter. It would for sure fit 2 1 liter smart water bottles in here if that's what you wanted to do. Same size pocket over here on the other side. This is a 1.5 liter smart water bottle. On a recent trip, I also fit a 1 liter smart water bottle in here, and then my Helinox Chair Zero in this same pocket. So these water bottle pockets are quite big, nice and deep, nice and stretchy, and both of those actually have a drainage hole in the bottom, as does this pocket, which isn't the main compartment, it's actually a rain cover. So on the bottom, there's a zipper, and it comes with its own rain cover, which is pretty cool. There's a place for it. It's not the nicest rain cover. I wish that there were some straps on it so that you could strap it to the pack when you put it on, but it's cool that it includes one. And if you want a different rain cover, there's at least a pouch for it, which is awesome. That's another thing that on other packs, I'll often have to put in this pocket because there's not a dedicated spot for it. There are also hip belt pockets on both sides. So there's one side and there's the other side. I've seen some complain that these hip belt pockets aren't big enough. I don't know what they're putting in these pockets. I'm able to fit more than 1,000 calories of snacks, which is probably more than I'll ever need in a day of hiking, in one of these hip belt pockets, and then the other one is still open for other things. If you want that to be a trash pocket, or if you like to put your phone in there, It fits my phone, an iPhone 14. The hip belt pockets are plenty big. And they're actually really easy to open and close on trail when you're in the middle of hiking. So those are the hip belt pockets. And then it does have this weird pocket on the front of the left strap right there. For me, I'm kind of struggling with what to do with that pocket. I may end up cutting it off, which I don't feel bad doing because it's a $100 pack. I know some people like having a water bottle up front, and it will fit this is a 0.7 liter smart water bottle. It fits that really easily. Keeps it out of your way when you're hiking, and that can be nice because it is difficult sometimes to grab a water bottle out of these pockets depending on how flexible you are. Some people can do it. I'm not quite that flexible, so I struggle a little bit getting bottles out of these back pockets. So having one right on your strap could be nice. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep that on there or not, but yeah, so it's a 0.7. I don't think it will quite fit a 1 liter. If it did, it would be super tall. I mean, looks like you can fit it in there, but that would probably be annoying. I don't know. But it will fit if you want to put it in there. So that is, I believe, all of the pockets. But the other thing we should talk about are the straps. So along both sides, this isn't shot cord. This is just a paracord, so it won't stretch, which I actually like. But it zigzags from the bottom. This is a line lock buckle, so you can unbuckle it. It's also a line lock zigzags, and then you've got another one of those line lock buckles up top here. So there's a lot of give if you want to put in and strap some larger gear in these pockets. Maybe if you're trekking poles or a little tall or something. It's got the same thing on the other side. You've got that paracord all the way. Oh, yeah. I noticed that on the other side as well. This came untied. It's super easy to fix. A little loop down here. That was a little bit annoying, but not a big deal. So if you do order this pack, check this before you use these too much. Take care of that real quick. Yeah, so we got that cord that goes all the way up. One thing I do really like, and I actually had to pay extra for something like this on my Z-Packs pack, which is really annoying. It also has these 2 straps on the top. And these are, again, line lock buckles. And I really like that there are 2. A lot of packs, you'll see they just have 1 strap coming across the top like this. On my Z-Packs, I paid extra for a Y strap so that there were 2 straps on the back that came down and buckled to 1 in the front. I like that more because it's a lot more stable if you're strapping something on top of your pack to have those 2 straps, or on my Z-Packs, a Y strap instead of just 1. I'll often put my tripod up there, so that's easy to grab. But you can see there's a lot of cordage there that you can strap something. I really like those. Like I said, I use them personally for my tripod. They work really well. There are some gear loops here. You can put your trekking poles there if you want to, or something else, and then it's got this shot cord bungee here. I personally just put some shot cord on my straps and my hip belt that I can attach my trekking poles to, so they're easier to grab while I'm hiking. If you want to see a video about that, let me know. I can show you guys how I do that. It's super easy and super cheap. And then the other stuff on the straps, you can see I've got my DSLR camera attachment there, and it holds really well. It's got these straps all the way up and down, which is great because I'll clip my Garmin InReach Mini on something like this. That's all the storage, and there is a ton of storage. I should mention that the amount of weight you can carry comfortable in this pack is about 30 pounds or 15 kilograms. There is plenty of room here to be able to carry that much gear. I had mine loaded up to 25 pounds, and that included all of my camera gear. A super heavy quilt because it was a 0-degree quilt, a heavier sleeping pad as well because it was a colder trip. For me, space in this pack is not an issue. As I mentioned, it does have an internal frame, so you can feel it right up at the top here, and then it comes all the way down the back. That frame really does make a difference. That frame transfers a lot of weight down here to your hip belt, or I mean, that's what they say, and I can tell you, I can absolutely feel the difference between a framed pack and a an unframed pack. This one is much more comfortable. It does a good job of keeping this back a little bit away from your back as well. The other things that make it more comfortable to carry are, it has these nice heavy duty load lifters. They're super easy to adjust on the fly while you're hiking. The straps are comfortable as well. You can see they're not just straight, which is nice. It has sort of a curved design to it, which makes it more comfortable to wear on your shoulders and then across your chest. It does also have a sternum strap. One thing that's a little bit odd is that you can't raise the sternum strap any higher than this because of this water bottle pocket. Now, it looks like if I were to cut this off, I could raise the sternum strap up higher. For me personally, I don't need to do that. The sternum strap was a great height. It was here just under this pocket. I should also say I have a pretty short torso, but if you're really short, then the sternum strap might end up being a little bit too low on you. For me, even with a short torso, I was able to get it plenty high. Before we talk about the hip belt, let's talk about this back panel. Let me move these straps out of the way so you can see it a little bit better. The main part of the back panel, I really appreciate that the padding in there isn't solid. It has some holes in it to help vent, which I think does make a difference. I tend to hike really hot and warm and my back always gets sweaty, but I felt like I was still getting some ventilation back there. And it actually has a little bit of a curve to it. So this is right on your shoulder blades and this sort of curves back. And I can reach back and feel some space in between my back and the backpack right here, which does make a difference because, like I said, I hike really sweaty. And then on the lumbar, it's got some additional padding. This isn't that same perforated stuff. It's some heavier padding. It's pretty thick. Hopefully you can see right there just how thick that padding is. About 1 inch thick, and it's really comfortable on my lower back. It's firm, but at the same time squishy, and so it does make a difference. And I like that it's sort of a small concentrated area that's just right on your lower back. And that same padding, maybe even a little bit thicker, is what's on the hip belt. And this hip belt was really, really comfortable. It's sort of a separate piece. It's attached behind here with Velcro, so I guess you could take it off if you wanted to. I don't know why you would. Because it's so comfortable, it's got the pockets on it, it works really great. But not only does it have this nice padding around here, which goes right on top of your hip bones, this strap that goes across your stomach is nice and thick and really easy to loosen and tighten, which is really nice. I find that I have to usually tighten mine throughout the day just a little bit as I'm hiking. And then you can even adjust it further because between the hip belt and the pack is another strap there that you can loosen and tighten. And what that will do is make it so that if you're a little bit slimmer, not like me, you can tighten these down so that your hip belt is a little bit closer like this. I widen mine out. Mine probably sits a little bit more like this. I'll tell you, I am about a waist 38 right now, and this hip belt had plenty of room for me. And you can also make it quite a bit smaller. So I think even somebody much thinner than me would still be able to use this hip belt really, really comfortably. So yeah, I mean, the pack is just really comfortable to wear. I should also mention that if you are a hydration bladder person, I personally am not, I don't like using them, but it has holes in this roll top on both sides. You can see one right there. I'm assuming that's intended for a hydration or a bladder hose to be able to come out, one on this side and one on the other side. There isn't a pocket inside, but if you do like using a hydration bladder, there's no reason why you couldn't just put one in there and then run the hose out one of these holes. And then as far as my experience using this pack, so far my longest day with it has been not quite 10 miles. And so I was wearing it for, I think, 4 to 5 hours. And it was really comfortable. At first, I did notice something I was really trying to keep my eye on was whether I'd get any rubbing on my neck from the straps, because I have had that with other packs where I just started to get a little bit of rubbing. So I was really paying attention to whether or not that happened with this pack. And about a mile into my first day with the pack, I noticed that starting to happen, and I was really worried that this pack just wasn't going to work for me. But then I realized that I had too much weight on this side of the pack. I had my camera right here, which probably weighs 1.5 pounds right here on this strap. I didn't have any water in the water bottle pockets over here, and I had, I think, 1.5 liters of water in this pocket over here, which is going to be 3.3 pounds. So I had an extra more than 5 pounds on this side of the pack than I did on the other side. So I took the pack off, moved the water bottle to the other side, balanced things out, and then I never noticed any rubbing or any pain on my neck for the rest of the trip. So that hasn't been a problem for me. It was really comfortable to wear. The hip belt made a really big difference. I feel like the frame made a difference. It felt really good on my back. The load lifters made it easy to adjust on the fly. It was just really comfortable to wear the entire day, which I was surprised by because this pack is super affordable. I bought this on Amazon for $100. It's usually listed for $110 or $109.99, but they almost always have a $10 off coupon. So I paid $99 for mine and was honestly not expecting much because that's not very much to pay for a framed pack. But this Naturehike 65 liter pack absolutely surprised me. So let's talk about those 4 criteria that usually get in the way of finding a good, affordable pack. The first one was that a lot of affordable packs are just really heavy. This one comes in at 2.5 pounds. It's not the lightest pack you'll ever see, but as far as framed roll top packs made out of a nice durable material and that won't break the bank, 2.5 pounds is really, really good. The second problem with affordable packs is often they're frameless. This one has an excellent frame. The third problem with affordable packs is they're often too small. This one has a ton of storage. 60 or so liters in the main pocket, tons in this mesh pocket, huge water bottle pockets, the straps on top, the hip belt pockets, tons of storage in this. And then the fourth problem we mentioned with affordable packs is that they're often just uncomfortable. This pack surprised me with how comfortable it was. For $100 at just 2.5 pounds, this pack was surprisingly comfortable. It's something where I didn't think about my shoulders or my back the entire day that I was hiking with this pack, which is a really good sign. I have worn other packs before where my shoulders just ache after a couple hours. This one wasn't like that. So if you're looking for a comfortable pack that's affordable, has a ton of features, and isn't super heavy, this 65 liter pack from Naturehike is awesome. If you're not quite sold on the roll top pack, check out this video where I review the Teton Sports Explorer, an affordable, more traditional internal frame pack that might be just what you're looking for. And remember, life is better with some dirt in it.